Hello and welcome to Euphoria. Today I'm going to continue my mini-series of videos in which I'm creating a modular building based on the Honeydukes Sweet Shop. This is a conversion of the little building from the Lego Hogsmeade Village Visit set, number 76388. I quite liked the look of this little building in the set, and I thought it could be the basis of a nice little half-modular building to put into the old town area of my Lego city. In this video I'll be adding some more details to finish off the building and bring it a bit more to life. You may have seen the previous videos in this series in which I worked out how to make this into a modular building. I decided on the floor plan and built the ground floor, added a new upper story and made a roof to fit. It's built on a 16 by 32 base plate, so that's the size of a half modular building, and it will meet the standards for a modular building. I did try to keep some of the recognisable elements of the original Lego set, which of course was a representation of a description in a book and in a movie. So I based the ground floor around the shop front from the original set, with its lovely green bay windows, and I built the rest of the ground floor using mostly masonry profile bricks. I added a new staircase at the back to provide access to the new upper story. Then I worked out how to add a new upper story for the building, which represents a traditional half-timbered construction with a kind of timber framing and a brick infill. And in the previous video in the series I added a roof and put the building together for the first time. Although this building's turning out to be quite different from the one in the original set, I've tried to keep the signature green upper window with the turret roof, and although I've changed it from a dormer window in the roof to a kind of projecting window in the front gable, I think it's still kind of recognisable back to the original set. Have a look at the previous videos if you want to see the development of this MOC so far. Now, I think the building still needs a few details to finish it off properly and bring it to life. I think the building needs some interior details, and I think there are also quite a few details that I could add to the outside as well. So join me as I continue with this MOC, and hopefully we'll end up with a lovely little modular version of an old-fashioned sweet shop. So I'll start with some external details for the ground floor. Now, I recently managed to get a couple of door frames in dark green, which I thought might go better with the theme of the front facade here. So I'm going to swap out this sand green door frame at the front, and I thought I'd also try adding a dark green door frame at the back to go with this canopy. I also noticed that I've ended up with these sand green bricks here around the front door, and I think really I need to make them light bluish grey, the same as the masonry profile bricks, so that the front is consistent. So that means breaking this build down a little bit and then putting these changes in. So I'll have a go at doing that. There, I think that looks a bit more consistent with the rest of the ground floor walls. Now the other thing I want to do to the facade is to add downpipes for rainwater coming down from the roof past the upper story and then down into a drain here. And to do that, I want to add some clips into the wall here to attach the drain pipe to. So really I need 2 clips, and because of this arch I can only get the upper one here, so actually I need to just rebuild a bit of this wall as well. Now for the main drain pipe I'm going to use these rods, which are 6 long, but I had some fun trying to work out how to get round this corner and up to the drain pipe that's going to be on the upper story, which is further out. And I worked out an arrangement using these pieces, which are 2 kind of bent rods and a lightsaber hilt, which go together to form this kind of kink. Now these pieces are not all available in the same set of colours, so I've gone for a combination of black and green to kind of match the colours in the facade. So I'm hoping that will just clip on here. So now I've got a downpipe which goes next to the wall on the ground floor and then comes out to meet the downpipe which will be coming down on the upper story. I'm undecided about whether to apply these Honeydukes stickers to the top of the windows. In some ways it makes the shop more kind of authentic, but in other ways it rather spoils the green facade and the consistency of the colour scheme. On the sticker sheet there are 3 of these smaller Honeydukes stickers, so maybe I could use those at the top of the windows and over the door. So because I haven't decided, I'm going to leave the stickers off for now. So let me know what you think I should do. At the back I tried out some paving that's more irregular in terms of layout, different colours and even heights. Added some weeds and brown areas to make it look like it's a bit less maintained than at the front of the shop. And here I've tried to use quite a lot of the other smaller parts that I've used as fillers when shopping at the Lego Pick a Brick Wall, and I think they've actually proved to be quite effective. I've also changed out the window panes for the rear windows to these lattice ones in gold, and I expect I'll be using those in the upper floor as well. That finishes off the details for the ground floor, and I think that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to turn my attention to the interior of the ground floor, which is of course the sweet shop itself. Before I do that, one of the things I didn't mention when I was building the ground floor is that in the books and films there's a cellar underneath Honeydukes with a rather unusual underground access, which I won't mention in case you haven't read the books or seen the films. But I'm not going to build a cellar for this building, as it's built on a flat base plate. But if you wanted to provide access to the cellar, then the steps would go down in this corner. Like in a lot of old houses, the staircase to the cellar often runs underneath the staircase to the upstairs. So as I'm not having a cellar, I'm just going to use this corner as an understairs storage space. So back to the interior layout. Now the interior space for this shop is the same width as the original set, 16 studs, and it's just slightly deeper, so I have a little bit more space on the inside of this shop than in the original set. But before I start to fit out the interior, I need to work out the floor layout, then add the floor tiling. I want to make use of the interior details that came with the original set. There's a small counter with a little weighing scale to weigh the sweets and a till. There's a couple of shelves with boxes of sweets and lollipops and jars of sweets on them. And there's a display unit, which I assume is some kind of gumball machine. I would like to use at least one of the stickers that came with this set. In the original set they were included in the walls, but I've used proper bricks for the walls to give this masonry effect, and the nougat coloured panels were included in the walls for the upper story. So what I'm going to do is add back into the interior a couple of panels in sand green, which I can use with these stickers to represent the fully stocked shelves of the interior of the sweet shop. So what I think I'll do is put one of the panels against this wall here, and one of them against the end wall here. That means I can have the counter kind of on this side, and then on the other side I've got room for the shelves on the wall and the gumball machine in the middle. So I'll try to lay the interior out to accommodate all that. I have this set of tiles from the original set, and by the time I've allowed for space for the shelves, the gumball machine and the counter, I think I'll only need a few more tiles to create an interior using this tiling pattern. So that's the tiling completed. including spaces for the shelving, the counter and the gumball machine. I only needed a few more tiles to allow for the tiling to reach the back door as well. So now I can fit the interior. So I think these shelf units in sand green look really good with the stickers inside and the green shelves. And on this one I've added another shelf sticking out the front with 2 sweet jars on it to give a full 3D effect of a shelving unit crammed with jars of sweets. So now I can add all these elements to the interior of the shop. I've also kept the window displays from the original set. So there's this huge, I think it's a bubblegum machine in one window and a chocolate fountain in the other window. So that's the interior fittings of the sweet shop complete, and I think it looks like a very busy and enticing sweet shop. Well, it seems there's a bit more to the details for this MOC than I anticipated, and they're taking a bit longer than I expected. So I'm going to break here and come back to the rest of the details in another video. So far I think they're going well, and the building will look a lot better with all the additional details added. So let me know what you think about the detailing so far, and I'll continue with the rest of the details in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next update on this MOC and updates on my LEGO City.